Hello, and welcome back to the Macro Gamer channel. I'm Mark Cassingham, and we're going to continue talking about how this channel is going to function. So first, we had the video for the investment portfolio, and now we're going to talk about the gaming part of the channel. And we're specifically focusing on blockchain-based games. So we're trying to earn revenue or collect digital assets that we could potentially sell to other gamers. And the particular game that we're going to start off with this channel is Illuvium. Now, as of right now, Illuvium is not the first blockchain game to come out, but it is the one that I'm the most interested in, and I see as having the most long-term investment opportunity. Back in, I think, 2021, Axie Infinity was like the biggest game, and it looks like, very low-budget game. It has little cloud pixel characters, and it looks not like a high-end game or like a AAA game, just like something that they created and people got into the investing part of it and earning part of it. And then when the market tanked, basically the daily active users of that game tanked as well. So hopefully in the long run, as crypto games become more popular, people will just play them for just the fun of it, but also have the opportunity to earn a return. So what I'm calling this is R.O.G, or return on gaming. It's very similar to ROI, which is return on investment. If you look at our portfolio, that's an example of ROI. We're investing in assets. We're investing in stocks, bonds, commodities, currency, Bitcoin, and something else I'm forgetting. But basically, we're getting a return on investment. We're putting our money in, letting the assets work over time, and getting a return from that. Return on gaming is we're putting in our own time playing the game and trying to collect things, as I said, NFTs, digital collectibles. You can play missions to earn currency rewards. We're trying to get a return for our time in the game, or return on gaming. So, the title of this is going to be how to utilize blockchain-enabled digital assets for profit. So we're going to go through the slide deck. So, title: Digital Assets. Digital token that can allow investors to participate in interest and rewards. So, the ILV token you can stake for a period of time up to 12 months and earn a percentage reward. Now, for the past 3 years they paid out interest through their token system. As of, I believe, this month that ends, but going forward, it's all going to be paid out in revenue distribution. So anytime there's an in-game transaction, if you are staked in their protocol, you will get a percent of that return. And when you stake, it's very similar to a bank certificate of deposit, where let's say you give the bank $100 and you say you want to lock up your money for 12 months. And the bank will say, okay, in return for locking your money up for 12 months, we will pay you a 5% return at the end of that year. So 365 days goes by, the bank returns you your $100, plus they give you an additional $5 at 5%. So you come out with $105. So in that functionality, this is kind of the same. You're going to lock your money up for a period of time, but instead of the bank paying you, it's going to be other gamers' in-game transactions what's going to receive your percentage return. So the percentage return can fluctuate. It's not really going to be fixed. If there's a lot of revenue, 1 week or 1 month, you might get more. If there's less revenue 1 week or 1 month, you might get less. So it all depends on the economy. Digital assets such as NFTs that can be earned or bought, sold in-game. So some examples are like a skin. So like clothing for your avatar, your character you can wear. You have in-game weapons like a sword or a shield. You have the Illuvials themselves, which essentially are very similar to Pokemon in the game Pokemon. They're just the characters that you collect and battle with. So these are digital assets that you can collect and own. And the potential is you could sell them to other gamers. Just because you own it doesn't mean you're always going to get a sale, but the idea is you have the opportunity to sell it. And if there's a willing buyer, you can profit from that. Staking system that can lock up digital token or asset for interest. So as I said, that is the revenue distribution system that they have. So if I have one ILV token as an example, I'll stake it in their protocol. And let's say I stake it for 12 months. So over that 12 months, I will get a very small percentage of revenue from all the transactions that happen in the ecosystem. But the point is, I will actually earn a passive income stream through this, and that's what we're trying to create here, is passive income. Gameplay loop that incentivizes gamers to play/earn rewards. So that's probably the hardest part of any game, creating a gameplay loop that incentivizes gamers to keep coming back. Illuvium as it stands right now is in beta, so it's not fully complete yet, but it is open beta, so anybody can play it. The gameplay loop is a lot of grinding, finding assets, collecting assets, leveling up your alluvials, exploring the region. There's not much storyline with it now. The founders say in the future, they're going to add more and stuff like that, and it's been an ongoing project since like 2021, so there's at least a lot of building going on there. Economy that can sustain itself. Going back to Axie Infinity, they kind of had a bit of a blow up. I don't know where it's at now, I don't follow it every day, but the assets and their token kind of had this divergence, and the Axies, the little characters, got super expensive, and then when the market peaked, they crashed and everything came down crashing with it, so it wasn't really a sustainable economy. The studio themselves earned a lot of revenue, so I'm sure they're going to do something to try to maintain it, build it back up, but the point is, you need sustainability long term, and for a video game, that you're essentially going to keep building and building, hopefully that lasts months and years. So we'll see how the Illuvium studio does. Blockchain. So the blockchain is the system that basically handles all the transactions and the storage of your assets. So secure network to allow safe transactions of assets. So you want something trustworthy, it's verifiable. So the blockchain is open source. You can track the transactions. If I send a token to one person, I can send it directly to them. I don't need a third party. It could just go from A to B, and it can be handled safely, and the blockchain will account for it all. Ledger system to track every transaction from the beginning. So this goes back to fundamentally the beginning of really Ethereum, because Illuvium is a token on Ethereum. So basically, since day one, that token has been on that system. Every transaction has been tracked. Like I said, the blockchain has it listed out so you can follow it. Now, I'm not the person who goes through transaction by transaction through a long system like that. I'm just focused on my individual transactions that I play in the game. But the point is, it's traceable and it's transparent. Affordable to allow mass adoption at a lower price point. Now, this is not established. Like I said, we're still in beta in this game. Hasn't fully come out. It's brand new. I think it just came out July 25th was the open beta launch. So we don't know about affordability and mass adoption. That's a long ways away. But ideally, the cost to play the game is low to allow mass adoption. If the cost is high, kind of like Axie Infinity was back in the day, to buy one of those Axies was just an insane price. And like I said, they look like fluffy little cloud characters, kind of silly looking. And to me, that's not justifiable. I want something that looks really good, like AAA quality, and just it's fun to play. Variation in asset types and liquidity on chain. So different asset types in this game would be the alluvials, the equipment you use, swords and shields, body armor. You have equipment like a jetpack and mag boots. You collect plant essence and plant, basically plants that you could feed your alluvials and give them power-ups and things. You have shards, which are kind of like, if you're using the comparison for Pokemon, they're like the Pokeballs. So you use the shards to capture the alluvials, just like you use Pokeballs to catch the Pokemon. So there's several different things, and that's good because it gives variety to the ecosystem rather than having just one thing. There's a lot of things in game you could collect. Scalable to onboard mini gamers and for rapid growth. So again, this is what we're going to see as time goes on. So they're in open beta, so scalability is like nowhere. Like we have no idea, right? If this game all of a sudden hits a growth spike where a lot of gamers are coming in, expect server crashes, expect timeouts, expect issues with transactions being slow, expect all those things. I've been investing in Bitcoin and crypto since 2017, and whenever there's a bull market, transaction gets slower. Whenever there's a market crash, transaction gets faster. Basically, when more and more people are flooding into the market, it takes longer and longer to get things done. And when there's less people in the market, because people have just ultimately left, there's less people making transactions, so things can happen faster. So right now, Bitcoin's close to its all-time high, so transactions are better because there's financial institutions getting involved, but the overall crypto market's still down. So doing transactions now, it's cheaper and quicker, but if we get to like a 2021 or 2022 style bull market, things are gonna start slowing down again. So hopefully the Illuvium team could make this scalable, so it's not become a big issue. Return on gaming. So this is the concept I'm trying to get people to understand. So return on investment, again, is our portfolio, investing stocks, bonds, gold, and so on. Return on gaming is our time in game that we're earning. So we're either collecting NFTs, digital assets, or in-game token rewards. So find games that have a quality game with mass adoption potential. I believe Illuvium is that game. I don't think it's the only game. I don't think it's going to last forever. I've been playing games most of my life. I've seen games come and go. The cycle just goes on and on. New games come out, old games die off. Franchises get born. Growing up, probably the biggest franchise I've played most is Final Fantasy. I played a lot of them. Even though those individual Final Fantasy games peter off and fall off at some point, they come out with another one, and another one, and another one. The studio keeps going. So ideally, Illuvium would do something like that, where they just keep going over the years to keep innovating, keep growing. Have a robust in-game economy that is all on chain. So to have a robust in-game economy, you need a whole lot of players. Since the big point of this is gamers collecting assets, gamers also need to be selling assets, right? The market needs liquidity. It needs to keep functioning. The studio themselves help facilitate with fuel, and fuel is for curing shards, meaning you go out in the field and you collect a shard fragment, and then you use a fuel to make the shard usable, basically to catch an alluvial. Then there's travel fuel, so to go to each region, you basically need to teleport there, which costs fuel. And then there's fuel for crafting items. So there needs to be like a robust economy where people are buying and selling all these things, so we have liquidity. Have a native token that can be used for transactions/rewards. So Illuvium has their main token, and they have an in-game token, which is SILV2. SILV originally, I think, had an issue, so they changed it. It's SILV2. So SILV2 is only usable in-game, and ILV is their native token. So they have a native token for investing and an in-game token for usability for transactions. Have NFTs and various collectible digital assets. We already covered that. So I got swords, weapons, suits, many of the things. Variety is very good. In a game, variety is very good. I don't want to go into one game as an example. Let's say you can only collect armor suits or something. There's got to be several different things, so we help adopt more gaming. Have liquidity for mass adoption. So currently, like I said, the price is real low, so liquidity isn't too much of an issue. But as tokens start getting snatched up and people start staking them, there's going to be less liquidity, which is going to drive up the price. It's going to make the token still fungible. You can still get money in and out, but it's going to be more expensive. So like I said, we're still very early on, so we don't really know how it's going to play out yet. Have a marketplace to buy and sell in-game assets. So Illuvium has their site, illuvium.io. That's ILLUVIUM.io. They have a marketplace, so you can buy and sell on it. That's much better than using a third-party marketplace. I would prefer to use the studio's own marketplace rather than a third-party marketplace. So they have their own, which is good, and they sell land, which you can earn fuel on. They sell their alluvials. They sell little PFP pictures. They sell several different things on there. So out of all this, the example is Illuvium, as I've been saying. The native token ILV and in-game SILV. So investable token, in-game token. Right, NFTs, they have their alluvials, which I believe are around 200 alluvials total. I think 75 of them fall under the tier 0. There's multiple tiers for that they have. Tier 0 is basically the free-to-play version. So anything that's tier 0 is free to play. You do not have to pay to play. Then they have tiers 1 through 5, which you do have to pay. So you have to pay to go to the region to find them, and you have to pay to cure those shards to capture them. So there's the free version, the paid version, and I'm glad that there is a free version. I think a lot of these crypto games need a free version to really bring in new gamers. If it's all pay to play, it's going to be a uphill battle against that paywall. Staking, revenue distribution program that stakers receive profit from transactions done by the studio. So the studio themselves, they have yet to do one single revenue transaction because the game just launched. right? They did one small one for a big sale a while back, but that was like literally it. Like this is, now that the game's out, this is going to be the real test. So I don't know if it's going to be daily, weekly, monthly. We're going to figure that out. But the idea is once it starts, you know, that's it. Like passive income begins now. I would love it if it was weekly, but we'll see. But the whole point is, as the economy grows, as more players come in, there will be more transactions. So however many tokens you have staked, you can increase how much you get back by increasing the size of the ecosystem. You can increase by adding more tokens to your staking program, but also if the economy grows, you can get more money out of it. So again, we don't know what's going to happen yet. It's still all brand new, but like, and it's a revolutionary idea. Like this is a program. Like I've never made money off a game before. I've never made money from a studio before, anything like that. So it's the first time a studio is giving gamers the opportunity to invest in the program. So being able to get revenue and passive income is like a big deal. It's a great deal. Tournaments, rewards paid out for high-ranking players and ILV token. So there will be PvP. It's going to be a big factor of it. I would argue that as of right now, the game more leans towards the PvP versus the RPG collectible side. Currently, the game just has out a intro tutorial. It hasn't really built out the full storyline yet. You can play the game in the open world, and I'll be showing videos of that. But I think it's really more focused on the PvP side right now. So you can play with all the alluvials, you can compete against other people, you can play for rewards, things like that. And the game plays out a lot like a game called Teamfight Tactics. You know, it's kind of like an auto chess kind of thing. So it's you have your alluvials on a board, and you place them where you want. And then when you click go, they just fight it and they go at it. So depending on your setup and your strategy can determine if you win or not. This is my first time playing a game like this. I've played it since I think November when the auto battle first came out. It's interesting. I like strategy games, so I hope it continues to grow from there. In-game, various other rewards for making progress for completing missions in-game. So Illuvium has what they call missions, where if you do certain missions, you can collect points, and those points will turn into ILV rewards. Now again, since this is still new, there's not really a set schedule of when those ILV rewards will pay out. They do it in seasons. So the first season ended. I believe we're still in the second season, and then later on will be season 3, season 4, and I believe this is going to go on for a few months. So you can just play the game and earn these points by doing these missions, and I'll show that in my videos. And you can earn ILV tokens, so you don't have to pay for anything. You can just play the game, and you can earn token rewards. If you want to go further in the game, if you want to collect more, earn more, do more, then you would have to pay for the tiered system. Tier 1 through 5 alluvials. Stage 1 through 3, stage 0 is free to play, then stage 1, 2, 3 are the pay to play. If you want a better return on gaming, you know you're gonna move your way up. So I'll focus on missions. I want to show more of the tier 0 gameplay, the free gameplay, because I think that's going to be the best thing to help grow the ecosystem. So that's basically it for this slide deck. Again, a big part of this is just the return on gaming kind of idea. ROI is our portfolio, which is we're going to have videos on that. You know, we're going to invest in stocks, bonds, commodities, all that. And then R.O.G is our return on gaming. So we're trying to get a return from 2 different sources, right? With the staking program, that's going to be passive income. That's going to be under the ROI side. So we'll have our investment portfolio and our staking program. Those are both ROI. And then on the R.O.G side is where we're going to actually play the game to try to earn from it. So that's the return on gaming. So stay tuned for more videos. I'm going to keep trying to do this every week, try to update you. Feel free to ask questions, critique me, whatever you want. I hope in the future that this game's going to continue to grow. I'm more optimistic on this crypto game than I am other ones. So hopefully in the next months and years, it'll just keep growing and growing and growing. I don't ever think it'll be the next Pokemon, but the studio developers want it to be something like that. And I grew up playing that game. I love that game. So it's easy for me to like understand it and like it. So hopefully, you know, it goes in that direction and it does quite well. So stay tuned for future videos and have a good day.